Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's Up With That, the show that brings you interesting people, places, cultures, and subcultures here in the South Bay, the San Francisco Bay Area, the state of California, and beyond. And tonight, what's up with the Western Warship Combat Club? What's up with scale model World War II warships that actually have ammunition and shoot at people? Now, how cool is that? And what's up with our infatuation with blowing things up? Well, let me tell you an Andrew story. When I was a little kid, me and my brothers used to play cops and robbers, and, you know, we were really into it until that BB gun accident. And I swear, Mom, I did not shoot my brother in the butt with that BB gun. I was framed. Then there was the other time when I was just playing with my friend with a remote control car, and it smashed the heck out of that car, and it was an accident. Well, today we take it one step further. Today we have, as you can see, warships, model warships, that battle each other with ammunition to the point where they can actually sink. Now, how cool is that? Well, tonight we're going to learn all about this. Please welcome my guest from the Western Warship Combat Club. We have Mr. Rob Wood.
Hi, Andrew.
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
We have Ben Lee.
Hey.
And we have Stephen Morgrave. You don't have to get up. Pull your mic off. All right, well, we're going to start from the top. How did the Western Warship Combat Club get started?
Well, the whole actual sport hobby itself got started with a couple of guys back in the 80s who decided they were going to push a model boat out into a pond and shoot it with a BB gun.
Mm-hmm.
They took turns shooting at it, and they thought, after a couple of hours of doing this, wouldn't it be cool if we could actually figure out a way to put a BB gun on the ship and another ship, and then they could have battles with each other? Mm-hmm. And that's how it started. And so one thing led to another, and clubs got formed across the United States.
Oh, really?
And Western Warship Combat Club was one of them that got formed.
So when you say clubs formed across the United States, you actually battle other clubs. You meet in meets?
We do. Actually, there's a meet that's coming up in July. Mm-hmm. Ben and I are going there to represent Western Warship Combat Club to Texas.
Oh, cool.
And we'll be fighting against other combat captains from all over the United States.
Yeah, I hate them Texans. So
we'll do our best to sink them.
You better come back a winner, all right?
All right.
I mean, it got started with these guys shooting at these boats in Texas, of course, you figure.
Well,
and
yeah, of course. Everything starts in Texas.
And everything involving a gun starts in Texas, right?
I mean,
so it kind of spread out west, and in the early 80s, there was a bunch of people that got started doing this in California and also up in Oregon. So there are clubs that spread out all over the country from this, and even in Australia, too. It's very popular
I bet
there.
the Australians would be pretty good at it, too.
Oh, they are very good at it.
They are.
They have a kangaroo boat or something. So what kind of people? What kind of people join the club? Is it a whole just vast? The boat enthusiasts? Is it just?
Actually, it's more. It's a really large spectrum of humanity. It's mostly people who are educated, but not all. We've got engineers. We've got contractors. We've got people who are software developers. We have web designers. We have crane operators. We have every kind of guy you can imagine, and it really doesn't seem to matter what your background is. What seems to be the common denominator for everybody is that there's that thing that you were talking about when you're a kid.
Right.
Anybody that's ever put a firecracker in a model and blown it up, well, that's who we are.
Well, none of us ever did that.
No,
no.
That's who we are. Okay,
Yeah,
and that's the main thing. And the other thing is that we like to people who like to work with their hands.
Right.
Who are maybe get plugged into a computer screen all day long and want to do something different.
Right.
And so here we have historical aspect of things. You get to do research. You get to figure out what you want to build. You build it. Then you engineer the weapon systems. Then you get to go out and play with your friends.
It's like a creation.
It's the whole thing.
It's a creation engineering, and I also got to add that it's. I should also include that there's all age ranges too. We have a lot of people who are retired. We have kids, and our youngest club member I think is 10 years old. We have a couple of kids who joined when they're 16. Now they're in college. Who have been with us in the club, and they did really well in classes in school because of the educational aspects of this thing.
Well, it's true. I mean, I'm a school teacher as well. You learn by doing.
You learn by doing. You learn a lot of history in research. These are all historical ships. You have to research their role, what happened, and then you start learning about the context of where all of this stuff happened. you know, during the World War II era, in World War I as well. So it's very educational on top of all this.
They own something. That's like a really important.
That's right.
They created.
They built it.
Massive thing. So why did you get involved in?
I got into it actually part of an engineering project for school. So I took a look at this and decided, you know, it looks really cool, but I don't like the way that the controls are done. So I, as a critic, partly a critic. Room for improvement.
That's
so I looked at that.
Yeah.
So there's a better way to do that.
Everyone needs a critic. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So I, as a part of my senior project at Cal Poly, I put together a turret and computerized it effectively.
Wow.
So got it to spin around on command and be able to fire when I wanted it to.
Sweet. So you have all these different designs. How do you figure out, where do you find your designs, and how do you figure out the correct scaling? I mean, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'll take the first stab
Okay.
at that. All these ships are of the same scale, and
Okay.
that is 1 inch equals 12 feet in the real world.
Okay.
And every one of these ships has a story, and its full-size counterpart also has a story. And we could go across the whole list of ships and tell you a story about each and every one of them.
That's
But
super cool.
the scale, since the scale is established, that means that if the real ship was 1,000 feet long, let's say, then 1/12 of that is how long our ship is going to be, our models. So the scale has been set a long ago for this sport. And then as far as picking a ship that you're going to build, it's interesting if you do historical research and you say, well, I think I'd like to build a destroyer, or I think I'd like to build a cruiser or a battleship. You find out that there were different battleships had different strengths and weaknesses. Every ship has a strength and a weakness because every ship is a series of compromises. So you can pick a ship because maybe your father sailed on it, or your grandfather sailed on it, or because you happen to like the way it looks. That ship's going to have strengths and weaknesses in the real world, and we have found out that the models have exactly the same strengths and weaknesses.
So there's a lot of strategy then when you get into battle, because you know.
Exactly. Either you can run away real fast when a more powerful ship is coming after you.
Don't you hate that?
If you live to fight another day, right? So.
Okay, well, we're going to look at some video footage of some of the stuff that you've created, and I think the audience is going to find it very cool, and we'll look at that, and we'll see you after this video clip.
Those are gonna be holes. Yes. Get him! Jim, get him! Yes! Oh! Oh! Good. Oh no, step straight! Oh, too low, Dave. Oh, yeah.
Oh! It goes.
All right, now you have to admit that was pretty cool. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about what these ships are made of and some of the dynamics here, and I understand that this is the future, the up and coming of the combat model ships. Stephen seems to know a lot about that, so Stephen, take it away and explain to us what's going on with this one.
This is the Bismarck, one of Rob's ships, and for this one, we're using this as a prototype for a new controller.
Okay.
So I have a new controller in this thing that directs all of the turrets to converge on a single point.
Okay.
So
turrets meaning what?
this is here we have the turrets where they're actually firing the ball bearings at each
Okay.
other. So
The ammo.
the ammo,
Just say the the bombs.
the quarter-inch ball bearings in this
That's-
case.
Yeah, really.
It's the guns he's talking about,
Yeah.
aiming all at the same spot. So that if they all four of those guns were to hit the same spot, it'd make a big hole.
Right.
Yes. So with this, we have a custom controller that was a hacked PS2 controller, and I have a direction bit on this so that it always goes in a particular direction, and then I can tell at different distances, and it will actually bring the turrets in to a particular point and
Very, very
trace
cool.
circles around the whole thing.
So is that like the king of the sea?
We're expecting this to be the king of the sea, most definitely.
It is, after all, the
Is that the one that's going to beat Texas?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
maybe next year. Yeah.
Well, if I get this ship up and running in time, we can get both the Hood and the Bismarck
You
out.
can do it. you
Yes.
can do it.
That's right.
Okay, so tell me about this one. This is the damage. There's like a lot of damage involved in. Well, actually, let's go back to the whole battle here. Okay, so we got the battle. You got the guns. You got the BBs. You got the poor little ship out there. That's
Like this one.
Like
not
that
like
one,
this
that's
one.
right.
That's not looking too good. In comes Mr. Daddy Bismarck here and wipes it out. Okay, so then what? What happens?
we cry.
It sinks.
And we have a little prayer session.
Uh-huh.
Actually,
At Catholic University.
all of our ships are designed, first of all, to take damage. You could easily build a ship out of fiberglass so it wouldn't be damaged at all when our guns hit it, right? That would defeat the point of the game. The
Right.
game is to put more holes in the other guy faster than he can put in you.
Well, that does make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the idea is to sink the
Well,
other
that's
guy.
life, right?
Right. You're going to take a certain amount of damage. He's going to take a certain amount of damage. Hopefully, he's going to take more than you, and he's going to go down before you do.
Right.
So you win that engagement, right? So if you look at the side of this ship, you'll see all the holes that were results of being shot at by guns like those. And if you look at
Big,
the,
bad, mean guns.
if you look at the other side of this ship, you'll see a piece of unpainted balsa wood.
Okay.
And that is basically a representative of an hour's worth of work to patch it.
Okay.
So what you see on the other side takes about an hour to patch.
And then you put it back to sea?
Paint it, and you go right back out to the water again.
Okay.
The water does not harm the motors.
Now, if our Navy could work as effectively as that, I'm
right.
telling you,
That's right. So water doesn't
there
harm
would be
the-
no war in the world, okay?
Unfortunately, the Navy doesn't work in balsa.
Yeah, I know. No.
That's
And it'd
right.
be a lot safer war.
Yes, it actually would.
I
You know,
mean-
come to think of it, yeah.
Absolutely.
and ergonomically more sensitive.
It's exactly. I mean, we're talking about BB guns here, and we tune them for safety reasons. They can't even go through 2 inches worth of insulation foam. But since we build the sides of our ships out of very thin balsa wood, that's the BBs can easily go through that and not hurt anybody.
So is there an issue with the weight of the ship then? I mean, the heavier the ship is...
Well, generally, the heavier the ship means that the bigger it is, and
Okay.
that's where the bathtub principle comes in,
is
right?
this how- yeah.
The bigger the bathtub, the longer it takes to fill it.
Okay.
So
Oh, okay.
it's generally more survivable when the ship is bigger.
So next year we're going to have one like here.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Actually,
As you work with you, by the next time it'll be...
actually, Ben said something really important, and that is you know, we're skirting around the idea of this is all about war, right? No, it's all about make-believe war.
Right.
If we could get the actual leaders of the world to do make-believe battles, then we wouldn't have the real thing happening and people getting killed. And that's one of the reasons that some of us like to do this, is that we kind of get our aggression out in a very creative way.
Okay, so are there certain like categories that fight against each other? How does this go? You could put all these in at one time, and it's just it's a dog eat dog.
We've done that. We've had.
It's the imperialistic army coming in and saying, "Well, we've got a bigger ship than you do."
Well, we actually split it up: Axis versus Allies.
Okay.
So ships that fought for Germany and Italy.
Very small.
Well,
Oh, they had some really bad ships. They're big,
had
bad
some
ships.
defects in them.
yeah, about 6 inches. or
Yeah.
so, right?
Okay. Okay. And the American one, of course, from Texas.
Very large. Very large.
There's a big boats
Yeah,
there.
we got the manly stuff on the U.S. side, right?
Yeah,
on
that's
the
right.
Allied side.
So, okay, so they all go in the water.
Two teams.
Two teams.
Axis versus Allies.
Okay.
So I have the Americans and the British, and occasionally the Russians, and who knows about the French on one side, versus the Italians and the Germans and the Japanese, and maybe the French on the other
You
side.
have the Deutschland über alles.
Jawohl.
Jawohl.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to look at some more footage of these wonderful warships in action. I think it's a fascinating thing. I know you're enjoying the show. Check out these clips. They're just as good as the last ones, and we'll be right back.
Oh, hell. Open fire!
Got it. Go right. There you go. Oh, that's punishment. Those are going to leave holes.
Yes. Get him! Jim, get him! Yes!
Oh, ow, no! Oh! Big blast of water. Ow, yeah, ow!
There we go!
Oh, there's one pirate. I'll die. There goes. I'll die.
Whoa!
Why'd you surrender?
I'm not surrendering.
Surrender, man.
I ain't no French cheese-eating surrender monkey.
Oh, dang it, I missed.
Fire!
That was bad. I'll put a good hit on there. Yeah, he did that to me. What happened, Bob? Boy, somebody got you. Oh, man. Somebody tripled you with a torpedo shot.
A good one there.
That's a torpedo blast.
Dead soon.
Ouch.
Who did that, Bob?
Windlet wins.
Who else?
All right, welcome back to What's Up With That. We're talking about Western Combat Warship Club, but that's not even close.
Something like that.
Close enough. Anyways, how do you operate these things? What makes them go? What do you have a remote control and just
Sure. Well,
are you
they're
running all around? And
that's actually a pretty good description of what
Yeah.
we do. I like that. Well, they're all radio controlled some way or another, like that radio right there.
so you can like blank out someone's frequency with your radio.
Theoretically, but basically,
You have to explore that now. Okay.
Actually, we've considered it, but this is a big gun club. It's not an electronic warfare
Okay.
Right.
club, so.
so,
Unlike other things we know about. Yeah.
so there's a receiver in the boat. There's a transmitter of some kind, and you're going to transmit signals to that receiver, and that receiver is going to tell all the various functions and equipment on board the ship what to do.
Okay.
So you move the stick one way, and the rudder goes back and forth, and that controls the direction that the boat goes in. Another one controls the speed,
Okay.
fast, slow, neutral. Another one controls the rotation of the guns. Another one controls firing the guns.
So you have to be pretty aware of what's going on there.
Yeah, you got to be plugged into the whole thing, and really, it's an art form. Really, it's like a dance,
I'm sure it is.
dance of death.
Indeed.
I bet.
We deal in steel.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta put this in a public swimming pool in the middle of the summer. I'm just thinking that off cuff because I would never, ever imagine doing something like that. Please understand me.
No.
So let's talk about the combat then. Okay, you just told me you were at the Makers Fair, which is an awesome thing. And
Yeah.
I understand you built this humongous pond. Okay, and so what happened?
Well, we put plastic shielding all the way around the pond, so that hopefully our ammo, which ranges in size from little BBs to
Wouldn't
quarter-inch steel
wouldn't-
balls,
Wouldn't take out a toddler,
we
right?
don't really want we don't want to take out human beings,
Yeah.
just other ships.
Yeah, that's always a
And so we built this pond. Dale Dougherty, who is the founder of Maker Faire, invited us to come. We were just going to have a little booth there. And he said, no, come and have combat. We started a whole chain reaction of events. We built a big pond. We started having battles, and all of a sudden we had 1,200 people watching at a time.
Wow.
We've never had anything like that in our entire history, so it was pretty wild.
That's great, though.
It was
Well,
wild.
you've done the work. You deserve an audience.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It was a blast.
So I wonder, where do you practice? Where do you practice these things in?
Well, we have a combat pond that we use. It's in San Jose, just north of the city. And we've been doing our battles there once a month, starting in around March, going all the way through to November or October. And we've been doing it for over 20 years there. We'll get out there on a beautiful day. Usually they're beautiful days. Divide ourselves into two teams and have at each other.
Is there any like reigning champion or somebody that shows up where everyone goes, "Ooh"?
Oh yes, there are.
Yeah,
All three of you.
I wish we could say.
we're all very competitive.
We're all very competitive, and generally at the end of the year we have these awards that we give each other, and we vote on who's the most feared captain and things like that. So yes, there definitely are, by popular acclaim, the most feared captain.
The last battle of the year is the most intense. It's the last man standing.
Is that like D-Day?
Yeah, well, it's all the ships.
It's a cage match.
all the ships are in one little area, and we blast away at each other till there's only one ship left.
That's cool.
Last man standing.
It's everything from the the cargo transports to shore batteries to the
Battleships
to
and
the
aircraft
Normandy. I
carriers.
think has been in there once. too.
Submarine also.
Oh, the
Oh,
submarine.
really?
We have
Yeah.
a submarine.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
A little subversive action.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Send a U-boat.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you were asking about combat. And basically what's happening is that we're out there on the pond, and we know the bad guys from the good guys. The bad guys usually have red flags, and the good
Okay.
guys have blue flags. and we shoot at the good guys and run away, or shoot at the bad guys and run away from guys that are too big and too powerful, and go find a cripple and go in and attack them. You look at the smaller boats over here on the table. We've got a couple of destroyers there.
Yeah.
They run in and fire their torpedoes and run away. But basically, it's all
No
question.
chickens, huh?
Yeah, it's all a dance.
It ends up being a big melee.
Well, that's great.
That's the fun part.
All right, we have only very short time left. One last comment you might want to say real quickly about this and why people should come and join your club and get interested in it.
If you like to work with your hands, if you like history, if you like, if you were the kind of person that ever blew up a plastic model ship with a firecracker,
And if you weren't, you're lying.
You're probably our kind of guy. If you go to our website and check out our website, you'll see who we are, what we do, and where we do it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. I thought it was very interesting, enlightening, and this is great to be involved in this kind of stuff. I wish more kids would put their energy into creating things and going out and destroying things, shall we say?
In a creative way.
In a creative way.
In a fun way, yes.
It's play.
Yeah,
It's playing, yes.
Right.
It's adult toys.
Exactly. Adult toys. That's another show. We'll cover that at another time.
Really.
All right. Thank you very much, viewing audience. And as always, if you're walking down the street and you see something interesting and you wonder to yourself, hey, what's up with that? Well, tune into our show, What's Up With That, and maybe you'll find exactly what you're looking for. We'll see you next week on What's Up With That. Good night, everybody.